spark that. Yeah, spark that. Yeah. Hey, look, okay. Holla at your boy if you need a little something. I be in the hood. I be in the hood. Holla at your boy if you need a little something. I be in the hood and my shit stay jumping. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy.
Breaking news now.
What's up, fam? Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide, man, where we talking nothing but this boxing, man. Yeah, man, it's been a minute, man, since I made a video. The corona got me, fam. The corona had me down and out, man. Hit me hard. You understand what I'm saying? So for those of you who think that the coronavirus is made up or fake, Big Faces is here to tell you that this shit's real, man. You know what I mean? So listen to what them people tell you. You know what I mean? Wash your hands, wear your mask, stay away from people, man, because, you know, I know a lot of folks who didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a scary feeling when you have that shit, man, and you know what I mean, you're feeling so bad, and you go into one of them coughing fits and have a panic attack because you don't know, damn, is this it? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just take that shit serious, man, because that shit is definitely real, man. Now, a lot has went on in the sport of boxing, you know, since we last spoke, since I last posted a video. Errol Spence Jr. defeated Danny Garcia. AJ, you know, he went in there and did what he had to do against Pulev. Shakur Stevenson still looking good. My man Tank, you know, put in his work, man. You know, just a lot of shit has happened, you know, since we last spoke, man. But I want to talk a little bit about this Terence Crawford, Errol Spence situation, man. A lot of people are upset with either Terence or either Errol Spence, man. But the person I see catching the most flack, I would say, is Terence Crawford. You know, Terence Crawford's catching the most flack. I'm going to give it to you straight down the middle, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to sway you one way or the other. I'm going to just give you the facts as I see them. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you the story
Breaking news
as
now.
I see it, not as nobody else sees it. You know what I mean? I'm not riding on nobody else's wave or none of that, man. You know, Terrence's point of view is, you offer me 60-40, 70-30, that's a slap in the face, okay? You got a lot of people saying Terence Crawford ain't done nothing. His record he ain't fought nobody, you know, yada, yada, yada. You know, Terence is looking at it as not a welterweight thing, but he's looking at it as his career. He's looking at it in his whole career, his accomplishment. He's looking at it as his achievements. You know what I mean? Terence Crawford has been in 3 different weight classes, you know, has won titles in each of those weight classes, unified, became undisputed, you know what I mean, in those weight classes, Ring Magazine, champion, fighter of the year, you know what I mean? So Terence Crawford is going off of his accomplishments, and based off those accomplishments, he can't understand how Errol Spence Jr., who only been in 1 weight class, you know what I'm saying, who has definitely accomplished some things at the welterweight division, but compared to his career, he feels that Errol Spence has not accomplished nothing. You know what I mean? Errol has not moved up 3 weight classes, won titles in each of those classes, unified classes, undisputed in those classes. So he feels that he is in a better position or the same position as Errol Spence. And, you know, so therefore he refuses to take you know, less than what he thinks that he's deserved. You know what I mean? And from his outlook on that, man, you got to, you know, you got to understand where he's coming from. Like, I see where he's coming from. Not saying it's right or wrong, but I see where he's coming from. Then you go look at Errol Spence, man. Errol Spence came in the game calling out, you know, all the top names, being feared by most of the top welterweights. Nobody wanted to give him a shot.
Breaking news now.
He had to go in there and earn everything he's getting in his welterweight division. You know what I mean? And that makes you kind of bitter that nobody gave me a chance. You know what I'm saying? I had to go and get it out the mud. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman kept playing games, didn't want to give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? So he had to work his way up in the IBF and became the IBF mandatory. Had to go over to London, England, and face a hostile 30,000 British crowd to win his belt off of Kell Brook. You know what I mean? And then come back to the States. You know, he defended it a few times. Then he makes the unification fight and becomes unified champion. You know what I mean? Errol Spence is looking like, man, I paid my dues. I did all I had to do. You know what I mean? I'm the big dog. I'm in the driver's seat. I'm the unified champion. And in essence, he is. You know, he is in the driver's seat, you know, as far as the welterweight division, man. But a guy like Terence Crawford, who has accomplished so much, it is my opinion that you can't just treat him like he's, you know, he's accomplished nothing. You know, even though he has not done a whole lot in the welterweight division, he came up and won a title in his first fight against a guy who beat a living legend. You know, whether you agree with the decision or not, Jeff Horn defeated Manny Pacquiao. You know, he made it a rough and tough and bloody fight against Manny Pacquiao. You know, the guy many say is one of the greatest ever. Jeff Horn beat him. Terence Crawford beat Jeff Horn. Beat him convincingly. Everybody said that, you know, Jeff Horn was going to bully him, was going to be stronger than him based on how he roughed up Manny Pacquiao. But instead, it was the opposite. Terence Crawford roughed up Jeff Horn, bullied him, threw him around.
Breaking news now.
You know what I'm saying? Bust him up, you know, and eventually got him up out of there, you know. Terence Crawford has not been able to get the type of fights that he would like, you know, the type of fights that would give him the credit that he needs, you know what I'm saying, the credit that he yearns for, the credit that, you know, will solidify his name in the welterweight division. But that doesn't diminish the accomplishments and achievements that he has made in his career. You know what I mean? So I think a 70-30, you know, that's a slap in the face. That's a spit in the face. That's Errol Spence flexing on Terence Crawford, letting him know, yeah, I am in the driver's seat, little nigga, and I'll give you whatever I want to give you. You know what I mean? And some people think Errol Spence don't want to make the fight, you know, and you gotta, you know, if I'm playing devil's advocate here, it seems like, you know, when a person, you can duck a fight by pricing a fighter out, you know, by saying 70-30, you know goddamn well Terence Crawford ain't gonna take that 70-30. You know, he came out recently and said, you know, that car crash must have messed up, you know, Errol Spence a little bit because, you know, something ain't right. His thinking ain't right if he thinks I'm gonna take some 70-30, man. You know what I mean? And it just seems like, you know, Errol Spence said when they met at Mo Hooker's fight, they met in the back where, you know, Bob Arum was there, Errol Spence, and, you know, Errol Spence had on the red hoodie and all that. And, you know, they talked about the upcoming fight. And Errol Spence told him, I'm taking the easy road. I'm taking the PBC road. I'm going to knock off these guys at PBC. And then if you're still around, we gonna knuckle up. Well, fam, you did what you said you was going to do in PBC. You knocked off Sean Porter. You knocked off Danny Garcia. Now. You say you ain't facing Keith Thurman, so there's nobody else over there at PBC except Manny Pacquiao. Now, I could respect him going for Manny Pacquiao, him taking a Manny Pacquiao fight before the Bud fight. But should Manny Pacquiao not fight Errol Spence Jr., Errol Spence needs to fight Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He should do everything in his power to make that fight, man. You know what I mean? And to be realistic, 70-30 ain't gonna get it. You know, 70-30 ain't gonna get it, man. No way, no shape, no how. 70-30 ain't gonna get it. Now, 60-40, I think is definitely reasonable, man. I think Terence Crawford should definitely consider that 60-40. You know, Terence Crawford, and in his own words, he don't need Errol Spence. You know, to define his legacy. And I agree with him, man. Terence Crawford is definitely a Hall of Famer based on the things that he has done before coming to the welterweight division. And then coming to the welterweight division, winning a title in your first fight, that says something there, man. You know what I mean? But I think that, you know, Errol Spence would further stamp his legacy. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, he should do everything in his power to make that fight, man. There's a lot of ego involved in this thing here, man. Both of these guys got big egos, man. Both of these guys believe in their skills 100%. And, you know, they don't want to budge, man. But somebody's going to have to budge. Something's going to have to give if this fight's to be made. You know what I mean? If these guys are to you know, eventually meet up in the ring. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got, man. It's glad to be back, man. I'm glad to be back. Shout out to all my, you know, subscribers that stayed down. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys a lot of people who unsubscribe, I guess because of my inactivity, which is all good, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, but I appreciate the ones that stayed down for the get down, man. But, you know, catch me on Instagram and Twitter at BigFacesWorldwide, all one word. But in the meantime and in between time, stay blessed, fam. And keep on supporting this sport that we love, called boxing. Peace.
Yeah, spark that. Hey, look, okay. Holla at your boy if you need a little something. I be in the hood. I be in the hood. Holla at your boy if you need a little something. I be in the hood and my shit stay jumping. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy if you need a little something. I be something in the hood and my shit stay jumping. Now you can catch me whipping through the projects, and I'm on the quest. Some niggas call me Haji. I'm just a local nigga till a motherfucker sign me. Such a quiet dude till a motherfucker try me. I'm not really the type to talk, get hype and bark. I've been trying to write my walk, but it's such a thin line between the light and dark. It's gotten to the point where I gotta fight my thoughts, and I've been trying not to go off. I swear it's so hard, like when she take them clothes off. I swear it's so hard, like whenever she roll off. She swear it's so long, and whenever I roll off, I swear it's so long. Peace out, deuces. If you want my 2 cents, that pussy is a nuisance. I've been acting brand new since my green made
Big Face.